What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Richest Steve in Atlanta. I am your host, Stevie Steve. We are back with another episode. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I feel attacked this morning. You know they after us. Done had some technical difficulties, but we are back on the road and we are moving. We got another good show for y'all, so make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We got the 7 levels of financial freedom. We're going to talk about those commencement speeches that happened this weekend. And then we're also going to end it off with America is in serious trouble. Debt is at an all-time record high. So like I said, we got another good show for y'all. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. To kick this off, though, the richest Steve in Atlanta will not only be the richest Steve in Atlanta anymore. Y'all will have to call me Worldwide Steve. Yes, Worldwide Steve. Because that's what I'm about to be on. My job is shipping me out to Europe. So y'all can call me Worldwide Steve now, you feel me? With that, though, things have got to change. Things have got to change, which means the only thing that's changing is the time that this show is happening. You feel me? I can no longer do 6 a.m. because that means that I will be at work in Europe at 6 a.m. in America. I am resting in Europe at about 6 hours ahead of where I am now. So with that, things have got to change. And the thing that's changing is the time. So I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. Like I said, if I'm 6 hours ahead, I get off work around 5. That means I'll be streaming. The earliest time that I can stream will be 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. What time would y'all like me to do it? And all I'm gonna do is put up a nice little poll. And if y'all could answer that for me, that'll help me out a lot. That way I'm getting the information to y'all at the time that y'all want it. That's all I gotta say on that. We gonna get right into this show, y'all. We gonna get right into this show because we a little bit behind. We gonna kick this show right on off with 7 levels of financial freedom by Earn Your Leisure. Y'all know I like these guys. They always adding value to the community, so I will continue to review their stuff until they're not adding value anymore. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. The 7 levels of financial freedom.
Let's talk about this 7 levels of financial freedom chart.
I think you get to the 7th level if you steal some labels and masters real quick. But I do want to ask you, if a person doesn't have breathing room or stability, like what can they do to get to that 6th or 7th level from the conversations you've been able to have with Robert Smith and Steve and Tyler, etc.? Like what are some of the patterns that you see?
Well, let's go through each one of them. I think it's so. The first one is clarity, right?
Yes.
Where it's like you've just identified where you're at currently, and you identify where you want to go. That is actually
very beneficial.
You're actually already ahead of the game.
Yep.
At least 70% of the people. 70% of the people don't even really know where they're at financially or where they want to go, right? Mm-hmm. So having that ability, that's why meditation is extremely important. Having some level to just, calm down for a minute and think things through. Clarity, very important. And then self-sufficient, where you're actually able to cover your own expenses without outside support, right? And then the breathing room.
Key.
Breathing room this is when you really start to pick up momentum, where you can actually, you're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. I would say at this point in time, you would have probably 6 months of liquid expenses saved.
And reserves, yep.
So now you get to the point where you got $40,000, $50,000 saved, right? So now it's like, okay, I can breathe, right? If something happens today, I'm okay, right? I'm not okay forever,
yes.
But I'm not living paycheck. Because when you live in paycheck to paycheck, it's very difficult to think clearly because
or long term,
you're in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in survival mode, it's extremely difficult to process things. and you can justify anything when you're in survival mode as well. So that's why you never want to be in survival mode, or when you're in survival mode, you want to get out of survival mode as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
you hear this once again. This is permeated in a lot of things that we kind of grew up in, right? Where it's like, I had to do what I had to do. My daughter got to eat, right? Well, what does that mean?
Yeah,
your daughter has to eat, so I got to die. You know what I'm saying?
Or you could have made better choices along the way, knowing spending all your money at the club for 4 weekends in a row could have led to devastation.
But that's a survival mode, right? So
yeah,
and then stability. So now yeah.
All right, so it seemed like we only on level 2 over here, y'all. That means we got a long way to go. We are only on level 2 over here. They started off with clarity, which, you know, that's always a good one. You got to have a clear vision for what you want to do. So, you know, just knowing where you're at and then where you want to go. That's always it. And then self-sufficient, you know, we not there yet. We not there yet. We not living paycheck to paycheck over here, you feel me? Like it ain't like I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm giving out money to the things that I care about. But at the same time, I'm still in debt a lot, and I still, you know, I don't have an emergency fund for no 6 to 5 months. I ain't got no $40,000-$50,000 just sitting in the bank, which only puts us at level 2, y'all. Only puts us at level 2. That means we got a long way to go on this show. If the goal is to be the richest Steve in Atlanta, we at least got to reach the top of this. You feel me? That means we got 5 more layers to go. Like I told y'all, the richest Steve in Atlanta is about the journey. And we all on that journey, so that's what we about to do. We only got through clarity. At least we know where we going. At least we have an idea of where we going. You know, along the way, it'll change. But we got some goals and aspirations that we know where we're at. You know, we're sitting solidly middle class at this point. So we know where we at. And we know where we going. Now we just got to, you know, we working on step 2. And we going to continue into step 3.
You're not living paycheck to paycheck, but you have no bad debt. You're fully funded your emergency fund, right? No debt, fully funded your emergency fund. Now you're stable, right? Yeah. Flexibility is
the key point.
2 years off, right? I could take 24 months off. I'm good, right? You know, I got $200,000 saved in the bank. I'm good. I could take 2 years off if I want to.
Yeah.
Right. Financial independent. Now you can pretty much just live off of your assets.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's real estate, whether that's stocks, whatever.
Crypto. Yep.
But now it's to the point where it's like your assets, worst come to worst, you can live off of that. And then abundance on the wealth side is when you have more money than you'll ever need. So
yeah.
The key to get to that point, I think, it's all through investing, right? It's all through investing and making early sacrifices early on. We talked about this before. Keep your expenses low.
Yes.
Ways to raise your income. Invest as much money as possible, because then you start playing multiple games, right? Where it's like, okay, if you get to that million, now you double that million to 2 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you double that 2 million to 4 million. Now you double that 4 million to 8 million.
Yep.
You just need one more flip. You double
your expenses low.
You get to the 10 digit. Once you double the 8 to 16, now you're out of here. Now you just now you're out of here, right? Yeah. Now that next flip is 32. The next flip is 64.
It's levels, yeah.
The next flip is 108. You're out of here at that point in time, right? But you might not ever get to. So really, you got to get to 8. But you might not ever get to 8 if you buy the big home, if you go on 30 vacations.
Yeah, you buy the big cars.
Watch. If you have a $500,000 wedding, because you're a millionaire, right? You're a millionaire at 1, 2, 3 million.
Yeah.
You never get a chance to get to that point. So now that could hinder your ability to ever get to that last level. It's like a video game. You got to get to the last level.
So when you don't want to get a casual vibe, the rent money, it was a bad investment because that's what you could have spent in media or in.
All right, let's go ahead and get over these steps. They don't went over them. I got about 6 of them. Clarity, know where you're going, what you need, become self-sufficient, and not living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's pretty much the same. I think I'm at a solid step 2, 3. Step 2, 3 in between, because there's some things they said on there like an emergency fund, and there's some things not living paycheck to paycheck, living below your means and all that stuff. So I'm at a solid 2, 3 step. 2, 3 step. Now we get into the higher level steps. They got flexibility. Do what you want to do. You can go where you want to go. You pretty much pick what you want your job to be. Then they have, financial independence. That's where you're living off your assets. You have a job if you're living off your assets, because you got to manage that stuff. But you're probably not, clocking in to the man. You're probably not clocking in to the man. You are the man. Your money is definitely made off you. You put in all this time, all this grind work to get to that step. And then they got abundance, where they say you just got, more money than needed. And the things that they were saying about the just going from financial to abundance or flexibility to finance lets me know that the simple things matter the whole way through. The simple things matter the whole way through. Like they said, if you're having a $500,000 wedding, it's going to hinder your ability to go from financial to abundance, because you're losing out on that capital. So the rich, get into abundance. Once you get there, you're pretty much there. But on the way up, it matters. Like they said, you can't take 30 vacations in a year. 30 vacations is a little far. You can't take that in a year. So if you buy that mansion for $2 million, you have a mortgage. Most people, they'll end up having a mortgage, hindering themselves to go from financial independence to abundance. So as y'all see in this game, which money, I feel like it is a game, the basics apply. The basics apply. So stuff like that, it never changes. It never changes. It will always be around. You'll always have to focus on the basics. But let's go ahead and continue with what they got to say.
Video, right?
Facts.
And people joke and say, no, well, you have it. I didn't get it by giving it all away.
And somebody wants to take it from you, but there's no sympathy when you lose it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Mill has said this, like, when you back at the bottom, they're going to treat you like you're worthless. Nobody's going to have sympathy for you when you don't have money no more. Like, if you have money and you lost it, they're not going to loan you any money
at all.
They're not going to treat you how they once treated you when they thought you had money.
Yeah.
Dang.
When you back at the bottom, they're going to treat you like you're worthless.
Like you at the bottom.
So don't try to take advantage of me when you didn't help me get it.
How much as a millionaire should you loan out per year? If we made it like a budget item, I know my number. Mine's changed dramatically.
I mean, loan is a tricky word. I would say give, because I don't even expect to get money back. If I'm giving money, I'm just going to give
that's
it.
Yeah.
And like I said, bro, I'm not really.
He just gave the biggest gem that I could give anybody. If you are going to do anything with money and it comes with people, you almost got to give it away. If you're not in a position where you can just give it away, I wouldn't give it back at all. I wouldn't give it at all, because it will ruin a lot of friendships. It will ruin a lot of family relationships. It can ruin a lot of things. I go by that rule just myself usually. And I go by this. This is how I go. If you say you're going to give it back, okay, you can give it back. But if you don't, you ain't going to get no money no more. Or I'm not loaning the money out if I cannot afford it at that time. If I can afford it to give it away without needing it, like I don't need this back, and you say you're going to give it back, then I'll expect it back. You feel me? But I'm not going to crash out about it. You feel me? I didn't need it. Next time I know that they said they were going to give it back, they didn't give it back. So I ain't going to loan them out no more money. at the end of the day. You feel me? But it didn't hurt me. You feel me? It's just we gonna have to restrict their money outtake for now on. But that was a great gym, definitely to follow. Don't be giving out money y'all ain't got to folks.
They giving too much money these days. I'd rather employ you. Well,
That's it.
Get this W-9 form. Let's
figure it out.
I'd rather have you on payroll.
Yeah.
At least I can get a tax deduction. And
that's even a bigger.
I can actually find something productive for you to do. Whether that's cleaning the house, whether that's, whatever it is, right? I'm sure there's something that you can do that's beneficial as opposed to me just giving you money. But to answer your question, I would say, 10 is max for me for the year, though. And that's just emergency. Like, I don't want to have to go to that level, but I ain't giving out more than 10,000.
Yeah. Listen, I moved my shit down to a grand.
1,000?
That's crazy. That is crazy. Think about y'all being in a position to be able to give out $10,000. Even in a year, give out $10,000 to people. And bro, he done moved his down. He had to move his down to $1,000. That it shows once you get to a level that they gonna be asking for that money. So you kind of almost just got to be prepared for that. That shows that you almost just got to prepare for that at that point, because somebody's gonna come asking. But he made a great recommendation. Find something for them to do, bro. If you of use, you ain't even gotta give this money back. You done earned it already at this point. Just keep it. And then, like he said, he got a tax write-off. That's crazy.
It's over with. Finito.
Well, about 10 is like my max.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll stay way underneath that.
Yeah.
But as far as like the 30, I need 30,000. I need 50,000.
Ooh.
I had none for you. I'm sorry.
I'm blocking your number. That's
sorry.
I'm blocking your number.
I get 2,500 for no. I'm sorry.
But the 500 play, all right, cool. 1,000 is crazy though. 1,000 for the whole.
I've given, and then got nothing in return, and then people gave me their ass to kiss after. I'm like, yo, I could have just saved this shit for my. And it's the crazy part. People will ask me for money that my child has never asked me for, when he can have all of it. It's like, yo, if Xander asked me for 2,500, yeah, y'all won't even repost the fucking link to join Stock Club.
About to be asking him for money.
Why you need 25? You could get the 25. Get an affiliate link.
You better stop. He gonna be asking him for that money. Let's go over these 7 real quick. We got clarity, self-sufficient, paycheck to paycheck. We got flexibility, financial independence, and the top one is abundance. I think I missed one in there. But I got these 6. So 6 levels of financial independence. Clarity, having a vision for your money. Becoming self-sufficient is all about your emergency fund, having some extra money in the bank. That way you don't have to worry about anything, not living paycheck to paycheck. They call it being sustainable, not living paycheck to paycheck. Basically, that's the building block of being financial independence. That of having financial freedom. That's the building block right there. Step number 3 is at the building block, and everything else on top of that is just your wants. Having some flexibility. That means do what you want to, in life. You're flexible to do whatever you want to do. Have financial independence. That's living off your assets. Your assets is working for you. Your real estate, they paying for you to live. And then abundance is having more money than you need. You can't spend it all in a year. You feel me? If you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I like to do some shouts out to the people in the comments. We got Big Win and Tajay in the building. You feel me? They always tapping in. I appreciate y'all for that. We are live here. We gonna keep moving with this show, y'all. We gonna get straight into it. Straight into the commencement speeches. I'm gonna tell y'all how I'm gonna do this, because it was some talked about commencement speeches. I'm gonna rank them how I feel. You feel me? I'm gonna rank them how I feel. We gonna start off with the worst commencement speech. I don't want to say it's the worst, and I'm going to tell you why. Then we're going to go into the best commencement speech to me, and then we're going to go into the most controversial commencement speech, which you may know what that is if you've been paying attention. I'm going to show the picture when I start on this. We going into the worst commencement speech. Yes, President Biden at Morehouse. As y'all know, some of the students did even want him there. So, as protest, they turned their back during his commencement speech. Of course it wasn't all the students, but some students, they turned their back to do the commencement speech. This is what I will say. In general, if you had a president come to do your commencement speech, it is a cool thing. It is an exciting thing. I would be happy for the president to come and do my commencement speech. The only thing is, this commencement speech was exactly what I said it was going to be. It was political. It was a political commencement speech. I feel like as a graduate, something that you want is some advice in life. You feel me? Like some advice. I want it to be more catered towards me, in a sense, because this is, my day. I don't want you to go up there and do a presidential campaign bit for yourself up there. And that's what I felt like this commencement speech was. A presidential bit for himself as to why we should put him as president again. It wasn't aimed to the students for real, to me, at all. I'm telling y'all, we gonna start it at a certain mark because we got other commencement speeches to go through. But in the beginning, he just talked about, what was going on in his life at certain points and things that you got to deal with at certain points. But then we got to this point where he started giving off this is what I've done for the black Americans, basically, or Americans in general. This is what I've done, and as young people, y'all should vote for me. This is the point where it's at, He started it off with a get to know me portion, get to know me, congratulate everybody. And then he got into the why you should vote for me. So let's go ahead and check out a little portion of it.
Well, that's my commitment to you, to show you democracy, democracy, democracy is still the way. If black men are being killed in the street, we bear witness. For me, that means to call out the poison of white supremacy, to root out systemic racism. I stood up for George Floyd's family to help create a country. We don't need to have that talk with your son or grandson as they get pulled over. Instead of a trail of broken promises,
at least he's telling some truth.
We're investing more money than ever in black families and black communities. We're reconnecting black neighborhoods cut off by old highways and decades of disinvestment when no one cared about the community.
Thank you, President Biden.
We delivered checks and pockets to reduce black child poverty, the lowest rate in history. Removing every lead pipe in America so every child can drink clean water without fear of brain damage and can't afford to remove the lead pipes themselves.
Thank you, President Biden.
We're delivering affordable high-speed internet so no child has to sit in a parent's car and do their homework in a parking lot outside of McDonald's. Instead of forcing you to prove you're 10 times better, we're breaking down doors so you have 100 times more opportunities. Good paying jobs you can raise a family on in your neighborhood. Capital to start small business and loans to buy homes. Health insurance, prescription drugs, housing that's more affordable and accessible. I've walked the picket line and defended the rights of workers. I'm relieving the burden of student debt. Many of you have already had the benefit of it, so I can chase your dream and grow the economy.
You ain't do that for me.
When the Supreme Court told me I couldn't, I found 2 other ways to do it.
They did tell you couldn't
we ain't able to do
I
it
ain't gonna blame
because
you
it grows the economy.
But it ain't helped me.
And I, in addition to the original $7 billion investment in HBCUs, I'm investing $16 billion more dollars, more in our history, because you're vital to our nation. Most HBCUs don't have the endowments. The jobs of the future require sophisticated laboratories, sophisticated opportunity on campus. We're opening doors so you can walk into a life of generational wealth, to be providers and leaders for your families and communities. Today, record numbers of black Americans have jobs, health insurance, and more than ever.
Yeah.
Democracy is also about hearing and heeding your generation's call to a community free of gun violence and a planet free of climate crisis, and showing your power to change the world. But also know, some of you ask, what is democracy? We can't stop wars that break out and break our hearts. In a democracy, we debate and dissent about America's role in the world. I want to say this very clearly. I support peaceful, nonviolent protest. Your voices should be heard, and I promise you I hear them. I determined to make my administration look like America. I have more African Americans in high places, including on the court, than any president in American history.
Thank you, President Biden.
Because I need the input. What's happening in Gaza and Israel is heartbreaking. Hamas's vicious attack on Israel, killing innocent lives and holding people hostage. I was there 9 days after. Sent pictures of tying a mother and a daughter in a rope, pouring kerosene on them, burning them, and watching as they died. Innocent Palestinians caught in the middle of all this. Men, women, and children killed or displaced in desperate need of water, food, and medicine. It's a humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
All right. Yeah, they in the comments saying that's a pick-me speech. It was a pick-me speech now. I'm telling y'all, I'm tired of it. All right, it was a pick-me speech. It was why you should vote for me the whole way through, you feel me? That's what I'm saying. And I'll tell y'all, the ending, he told them, be leaders and vote for me. That's what I got from it. That's what I got from it, y'all. That's what I got from it. You can't be upset. That's what I got from this speech. Be a leader and vote for me. You feel me? It was definitely a pick me speech. You pick me. He went there to try to get them to vote for him, y'all. And that was the biggest thing to me. Not just to get them, because he knows that people are going to watch this. It's going to be on the news. So he went down the list of things he's done did. You seen him. I did this. Thank you, President Biden. I did that. Thank you, President Biden. You know, I do appreciate you for doing what you're doing. But at the same time, like I said, it ain't really. It probably helped some people out. It probably did help somebody out. I ain't get no help though. As a solidly middle class person, I ain't get really no help. And like y'all see, he started talking about the war. Who these people in the building? That's why they turned their back on him, because they not rocking with the war. You feel me? They not rocking with it. So he had to explain himself on that, and that's when we went ahead and got up out of there, y'all. We went ahead and got up out of there because it just continues the I. Be a leader and vote for me. And yeah, there you go. So we pretty much got that down. And that's why I put it as the worst commencement speech for this year. The worst one for this year. I feel like it just didn't add a lot of value to the students in their next position in life. And I feel like that is what it should have been about. It's something to help people out in their next. And that's what the next two commencement speeches are all about. You know, even the most controversial. It was aimed to help. It was aimed to help. But let's go ahead and get into the best commencement speech, I feel, of 2024. May. Jerry Seinfeld at Duke. The best one. Giving people advice to not lose humor. Not lose humor. I'm going to let him go, and then I'm going to go after him, because I did enjoy this commencement speech. And I feel like it's something that we all could get something out of. Let's go, Jerry.
And this is probably the biggest point I would like to make to you here today regarding humor. I'm going to try and reach across a couple generations here to tell you the most important thing I am confident that I know about life. I'm 70. I'm done. You are just starting. I only want to help you. The slightly uncomfortable feeling of awkward humor is okay. It's not something you need to fix. I totally admire the ambitions of your generation to create a more just and inclusive society. I think it is also wonderful that you care so much about not hurting other people's feelings in the 1,000,001 ways we all do that every second of every day. It's lovely to want to fix those things, but, all caps, but, what I need to tell you as a comedian, do not lose your sense of humor. You can have no idea at this point in your life how much you are going to need it to get through. Not enough of life makes sense for you to be able to survive it without humor. And I know all of you here are going to use all of your brains and muscle and soul to improve the world, and I know you're going to do a bang-up job. And when you're done, as I am now, I bet the world, because of you, will be a much better place. But it will still not make a whole hell of a lot of sense. It'll be a better, different, but still pretty insane mess. And it is worth the sacrifice of an occasional discomfort to have some laughs. Don't lose that. Even if it's at the cost of occasional hard feelings, it's okay, you gotta laugh. That is the one thing at the end of your life you will not wish you did less of. Humor is the most powerful, most survival, essential quality you will ever have or need to navigate through the human experience. The other thing I see going on that throws a lot of people, thank you. I was hoping you'd like that part.
Keep humor in the life.
The other thing I see going on that throws a lot of people off these days is thinking, I've got to make as much money as I can. I personally believe the real game is I want to have the coolest job. When I started out as a comedian, I did not think I was funny. I thought I'm a little funny. Maybe I wouldn't have to be that funny. I just have to be funny enough to feed one person. And I could do that with a loaf of Wonder Bread and a jar of peanut butter. A loaf of bread and some peanut butter. That was my actual plan. That's how you think when you do not have a Duke education. I just wanted to have this super cool job. And cool is a word not easily defined. It's really just whatever you think is cool. So just go for what you think is the coolest. Money will be made eventually, somehow. Try not to think about it so much. I see this messing people up a lot. Put it to the side a little. Don't think about having, think about becoming. Having is fine, but focus on becoming. That is where it's at. And I know you're not really even listening to this speech, and that's okay. I wouldn't either. You're graduating, you're thinking about yourself or timing your mobile order from the Yalla truck. That's all cool. But the one thing I really do care about communicating to you is don't lose your humor. Forget the rest, forget your education, your degree, your privilege. All of you here would do fantastically well without any of it. All of you here, without question, are the best of the best. Just don't lose your humor. It's not an accessory. It's your Stanley Cup water bottle on the brutal long hike of life. And humor is not just for the stress relief or even just the simple fun of laughing, but for the true perspective of the silliness of all humans and all existence. That's why you don't want to lose it. Try to enjoy some of the dumbness of it all. That's the best life advice I can give you. I wish you luck. I wish you love. Thanks for the phony degree and the ridiculous outfit. Go get him, Duke class of 24. Throw the hat up. Let's get out of here. Congratulations.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Full of smiles, you know, giving some information to the young folks, to the people who are actually graduating, something they can take and carry with themselves. Have humor. I don't know if y'all notice, I joke around a little too much sometimes with almost every topic. With almost every topic, I like to troll it. You feel me? Yes, it's serious. Yes, things are serious. But come on, y'all. When everything's too serious, nothing's ever, worth it at the end of the day. Like, everything's too serious, nothing is worth it. I'm always joking a little bit. You feel me? I was an original troller for Trump. A troller for Trump. Back when he was first running, not first running, but his second, when Biden won, I was a troller. I used to tell one of my boys, I'm going to vote for Trump, then what? He used to call me a coon. He used to call me a coon. And I just started laughing. Why? Because I'm not taking it serious. It's serious, but I'ma still, enjoy it while it lasts. Because I feel like life is better with jokes. One thing y'all know about me, I was definitely a class clown. So I always got some jokes to tell. I always live in humor. And then he gave you another piece. Enjoy what you're doing. I know he said have a cool job, but mainly enjoy what you're doing in life is what I got from that. I feel like I got one of the coolest jobs, and I'm definitely enjoying it. Like I said, I'm about to be Worldwide Steve next week, so I'm happy about that. And they take care of me pretty good, so I can't complain. I can't complain about it. I do enjoy my job, and I think it's one of the coolest jobs. I done been in California. I done lived in California for a year. I done been to Europe 1, 2, 3, going on 4, 5, 6, times. So I enjoy my job, and if it allows me to see the world, I will continue to see the world in bigger and better places. But that's why I said this was the best commencement speech of the weekend, is because it didn't take itself too serious. And we still got a lot out of it. And they usually say if you have a comedian come and do your commencement speech, it's going to be bad. But I feel like that was a commencement speech that added a lot of value to people. Like I said, people at Duke, they probably take themselves a little too serious a lot of times. So they needed that little, debriefer while they're enjoying their lives, having a real good time. Now, y'all, we're going to get into the most controversial commencement speech. The most controversial. By Harrison Butker, the Chiefs kicker. What y'all think? Y'all think I should let him say it first and then go over how I feel about it? Because, boy, if you've seen this, then you know. It's controversial. But I cannot be surprised. He seems like he's somebody who's really into his religious views, and that's what he believes is right. So I can't be mad at him at the end of the day. It's controversial. Was it right? He probably had some truth to it. It applied to somebody. The things he said applied to somebody. So let him go ahead. Let me stop dancing around it and just go ahead and let him say what he said, because I know y'all want to know.
For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
That was it right there, y'all. That was the most controversial thing. And y'all know why it was controversial, because it was aimed at women. Break it down. He told them, stop believing the lies. Your career, all the achievements you have will mean nothing in comparison to you becoming a wife and having kids and being bestowed homemaker. This is not the first time we're hearing this, folks. Let's be real. If this is not the first time we're hearing this. I've heard it all the time from women. You know, my proudest moments was my kids. We've heard it all the time. I started living when I had kids, living for my kids. So I don't know why it's so, controversial. If it has to deal with women, though, it usually always goes up in the fire flames. Always goes up in the fire flames. So I know that he's more of a traditional, type man. He's able to be a traditional type man. He's able to be a traditional type man. So how can we be upset that he believes that, what he said? He believed in what he said, y'all. He believed in what he said. And it was aimed towards his wife. I'm telling y'all, his wife was saying, yes, babe, yes. She's definitely happy being a homemaker, a stay-at-home mom. She ain't working. Y'all think she working? Even though being a stay-at-home mom, that's a job. You working, all right. You doing something. You really not kicking it. But you just not working for somebody else. You working for the home. You make your home a better place. You taking care of the kids. You a homemaker. A woman make a house a home every day of the week. So like I said, I don't think this is the worst thing that has ever been said for it to be up in fire flames like this, for folks to, wanting to cancel him and all that stuff. Because he told, I've heard it before, y'all. I've heard this before. I haven't been able to live to see it all the way through fruition. But when we get older, and we gonna do some weighing, we gonna say, all right, she said forget the family and all that, and she decided to go with her career. She did the regular feminist movement. And let's see if she's happy with her career. Let's see if she's happy with the path she took. And then we gonna have the women, they went the other route. They got married, had kids, and I'm sure they're gonna, from what other people are saying, that was a great choice for them. So do what you want to do. I don't think it's as controversial as people are making it. They're just mad that he said be a homemaker instead of being a career woman. A crazy thing about it is, though, what he's saying a lot of men couldn't do anyway. Like, a lot of men couldn't provide for the home or the lifestyle that woman would work. So, kind of got to work anyway. It just is what it is. And I can hear it now, it's 18th century thinking, but he's a traditionalist. So, I don't think we should beat him up. I don't have anything bad to say about how he feels. I mean, that's how he feels. Is that the situation I'm currently in? No. I can't afford to take care of my woman in the lifestyle that she wants at this time. I can give her basic needs. I can give you your basic needs, but your wants and all that, you might not be able to get that like he can provide. Y'all feel me? He is in NFL. He's getting a check, so he can provide that lifestyle for his woman. But he said some other things, y'all. Some things to males. He hit the females first, and he had to say some things to males as well. So I do want to review that. Let's see. This is what he had to say to the males.
The road ahead is bright. Things are changing, society is shifting, and people, young and old, are embracing tradition. Not only has it been my vocation that has helped me and those closest to me, but not surprising to many of you, should be my outspoken embrace of the traditional Latin Mass. I've been very vocal in my love and devotion to the TLM.
It's the wrong part, y'all.
To the gentleman here today, part of what plagues our society is this lie that has been told to you that men are not necessary in the home or in our communities. As men, we set the tone of the culture, and when that is absent, disorder, dysfunction, and chaos set in. This absence of men in the home is what plays a large role in the violence we see all around the nation. Other countries do not have nearly the same absentee father rates as we find here in the U.S., and a correlation could be made in their drastically lower violence rates as well. Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men. Do hard things. Never settle for what is easy. You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy, but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better. I speak from experience as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker and an entrepreneur, something I never thought I'd be when I received my industrial engineering degree. The road ahead is bright. Things are changing, society is shifting, and people, young and old, are embracing tradition. Not only has,
like I said, he's embracing tradition, all right. But he did say something right there that I definitely rock with. You feel me? Fathers are being attacked in the home. Thank God, my dad was in my life, but my mom did get it, they separated. Thank God for my stepfather coming into my life. He did something I couldn't do. So I definitely thank him for that. And providing some structure to the household. Thank you for that. You feel me? Because that is definitely something. Fathers are definitely being attacked in this home, in this world, in the U.S. In the U.S. at least. Fathers are definitely being attacked in the homes. And having a father definitely provides that structure. And I feel like it's needed. He also said, do some hard things. Do some hard things. It builds character. So like I said, to the men's side, he kind of, he told them, stop being some wussies and grow a pair, get through it, because we are being attacked and demasculated every chance you get. You feel me? Every chance you get, they're going to tell you your thought process is wrong. Now, to the females, he said something totally different. I don't agree. I don't disagree. I live a totally different, lifestyle than what he's preaching. But it wasn't, somebody's living that lifestyle. So he didn't say something too far out the way. Is basically what I'm saying. He said nothing too far out the way right there. A lot of people live that lifestyle. A lot of people are happy to live that lifestyle. Just because you don't want to live that way don't mean go bash everybody. Like I said, I do want to end this on the male part. Men are being attacked at home. Grow a pair. Do some hard things. You never know where you see yourself at. You'll never know where you see yourself at. You'll find it might be better on the other side. It might be better on the other side. So how y'all rating them commencement speeches, man? How y'all rating them commencement speeches? Like I said, I put the Biden commencement speech at the bottom simply because I feel like it didn't add no value to the graduates. Make sure y'all go vote Biden, because that's what he was reaching for in that commencement speech. I put the best one at Jerry Seinfeld. Have a little humor in your life. Find a cool job. Don't be too serious about everything all the time. Especially these days, y'all know we woke as all get out. Everybody needs to be happy. We get that participation award. So don't take it all too serious sometimes. Let's give a lighter side every now and then. Take things serious, but it ain't always that serious. And then we're going to get the most controversial to Harrison Buckner, because he just went off. He went off on folks. So that just is what it is. If you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We're going to go over some of these comments real quick. Big Win is in there holding it down. Biden, he gave a 2 out of 10. Seinfeld, an 8 out of 10. And Harrison was wilding. Exactly. Yep, that's exactly how it went. I think that was a good breakdown of it. That's definitely a good breakdown of it. That's what he said. Buckner, not Buckner. Buckner. Man, I can't say that. I can't say that word. Butker. Okay, Butker, not Buckner. Butker, not Buckner. Hey, I've been calling him wrong the whole time. I don't watch football. I don't watch it. I'm not the biggest fan. I watch the Super Bowl. That is definitely funny. That is definitely funny, yo. We gonna move straight into our next topic, yo. We gonna move straight into our next topic here. Americans are in some serious trouble as debt rises to a record high. We not surprised, are we? Are we really surprised? Are y'all surprised? Are we really surprised? I just don't think people understand debt all the way. We just know how to gain it, and we don't know how to lose it. We know how to use debt to get the things we want, but we don't know how to lose debt. And that means we not in balance. We not in balance. If all you do is use that debt, you not in balance. And then we be using the wrong type of debt. Y'all seen the video a little while ago when I was saying how to get $500. People use debt to get out of the emergencies, and then they can't pay it back. It go downhill. It go downhill. But yeah, we gonna go over the record high debt and where it's at. So let's go ahead and get right on into that.
Released their news report. The Federal Reserve of New York just released their news report, and we have a big problem for two reasons. Number one, for the first 3 months of 2024, total household debt in America has surged to a new record high. And number two, delinquencies are shooting up. So you need to see this. So all this information is coming straight from the Federal Reserve. This is the Fed's report, their presentation on page 12. You are looking at the types of debts, so credit cards, auto loans, mortgages, student loans, and HELOCs. So this is for the past 21 years. So you can compare the situation right now against the Great Recession. Now, I want to explain this so you clearly understand our current situation. This will give you a sense of how other Americans are doing, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, etc., just in case they're not telling you the truth. So look at the blue line, credit card delinquencies. Delinquencies have now surged to recent highs, and they're now above pre-pandemic levels. For auto loans, that's the line in green, check it out. So we're at the high end of normal. I would not be surprised to see this go above pre-pandemic levels this year. Now, if you look at the red line, those are student loan delinquencies. Obviously, what is going on here, right? It's clearly distorted. That's because the politicians passed a rule where if you miss a student loan payment, those late payments are not going to show up on your credit reports to the credit bureaus until Q4 of this year. Therefore, student loan delinquencies will appear artificially low for the next 2 quarters. In reality, the Federal Reserve is saying that student loan delinquencies are increasing right now, so that should not be a shocker.
Yeah.
Now take a look at the yellowish or goldish line. Those are mortgage delinquencies. They're extremely low levels right now, so it's nowhere close to where it was at during the housing market crash during the Great Recession. I would say that this is because about 60% of all mortgages out there have an interest rate below 4%. And anyone that has a mortgage interest rate at 4% or below probably bought their home before prices skyrocketed to obscene levels. So if you look at these people, even if they're living paycheck to paycheck right now, they can still afford to get the mortgage paid. So it's not like the housing market crash when they were just giving out ninja loans and adjustable rate mortgages like candy. Now let me show you this. All
right, let's go back, y'all. Y'all know we gotta review that. I'm only gonna hit 2 of them. I do have 3 of them. Auto loan. That's pretty normal. That's about normal. So that's not killing people. That's $700. That's $700 a month on your auto loan. I guess it's not killing people. People still they trying not to get repossessed. It's about normal. It's about normal, as y'all see from this chart. It's been normal pretty much through and through. That means the same amount of people been getting that means it's been pretty even. That means, ain't nothing changed on that. So people still getting repoed and all that stuff. It's the same on that. Repo. Now let's go ahead and hit student loans. Y'all seen where it was at. What this was? That was the C word. That's when the pandemic had happened. And then it shot down. Which means y'all know it's false as all get out right now. It's false as all get out. If it was here, This is because people stopped paying and they stopped reporting. Let's be real. This is because people stopped paying and they stopped reporting. You know, they stopped all that because of the pandemic. So it was automatic. And automatic, it's gonna shoot down. So that's probably the most false thing. Now let's get to the most alarming: credit cards. This credit card debt is not where it's at. That's probably the most expensive debt you can have. Let's be real. These rates, 20, 40, y'all know these rates is through the roof. These rates are through the roof. Americans, come on. Gotta get it. We back over pre-pandemic levels. It's going up. I honestly fear that it's going to continue to go up because that's just, first, inflation's going up. So the cost of living is going up. People can't afford it, so where are they subsidizing it? With your credit card. That's the first place we're probably going to see something. People are subsidizing with their credit cards. They're still trying to afford the same lifestyle they had before, but everything's just getting more expensive. You know, right after, it was a lot of money. So people were spending, living a lifestyle they probably weren't just all the way accustomed to. And now they're trying to keep up with that lifestyle. So you got to spend a little bit more, dish a little bit more out that you don't have. So you're going to use a credit card. Stay away from these credit cards, man. Don't carry over that balance. Don't pay them that interest rate. They just really, like they say, lubing you. You know, they really that's what they're doing. Try to stay away from them.
Ninja loans and adjustable rate mortgages like candy. Now let me show you this, and again, this is all coming from the Fed report. Here's the total debt of Americans. As you can clearly see, the total debt balance keeps on going up. So I want to show you this so that you can see the trend. Most of it is housing debt, but let's break this down further. So here's the same debt broken down by composition. 70% of our debt is related to our homes, mortgages, and home equity lines of credit, but it's mostly mortgages. Student loans, 9%, auto loans, 9%, credit cards, 6%. Now let me give you some more details.
That's not too bad.
I want you to see what is happening with the debt levels. And remember that this is for Q1, January, February, March. I would recommend that you focus on the annual change because, for instance, credit card debt trends higher in October, November, December because of the holidays. So I think that year over year is a better measure. So take a look. All types of debts have gone up, minus student loans. Now I want you to look at this. Here are the numbers broken out for you for serious delinquencies. So we're talking about 90 days delinquents or more. If you compare Q1 of this year compared to Q1 of last year, delinquency rates are up in every category: mortgages, HELOCs, auto loans, credit card debt, even other. So if there's any loan sharks out there, or even pawn shop owners, let us know what you're seeing. Now, let me show you this. These are the auto loan delinquencies by age groups: 18 to 29 years old, 30 to 39, and so on. As you can see, delinquencies are going up for every age group.
Oh yeah, we gotta go look at that. Delinquencies. We about to hit the 1829. You got some cars you don't need right now, and I know that's what that is. Trying to be out here flashing. You got a car you can't afford. Maintenance too high. Wheels and tire costs too high. Gas too high. You got a car you can't afford. And y'all know the next age group up, they not doing too much better. 30 to 39. They on the same, high end as everybody else. Well, as the 18 to 29 year olds. They might not be at 5, but they itching towards 4. That's called living above your means. That's called living above your means, ladies and gentlemen.
Every age group. Here's the data for credit card delinquencies by age. So it's the same thing. It's rising for every age group. And look at how sharply it's going up. And here are the foreclosures by age group. Same story. It's up all across the board. However, as you can see, Foreclosures are nowhere close to what they were before in the last housing market crash. Just take a look at how bad it was during 2008, 2009, 2010. So I've just shown you the data from the Federal Reserve. And the summary is Americans are in record debt and delinquencies are shooting up. My question to you is, where do we go from here? Like, what comes next? But just think about it. So honest question. In the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, do you think that the situation is just magically going to get better? Like, if you think so, then tell me, like, why?
Come on now.
Personally, I don't think so. Realistically and just logically speaking, I think that the situation is going to get worse before it gets better.
It sure will.
The reason why I believe that, the reason why I'm saying that is because we still have inflation. It's not like prices are coming down. We don't have deflation. And inflation is still going up faster than our incomes. Interest rates are still high. We're in a higher interest rate environments. As time passes, just think about this, because as more time goes on, that means there's just going to be less people with 3% mortgages, and they're being swapped out with newer borrowers that have a 7% mortgage interest rate. So more people are going to struggle. It's going to be the same concept. It's going to be the same thing with auto loans. The lower interest rate people are going to be swapped out by the higher interest rate people. And the life cycle on auto loans, 5 years, 7 years, obviously is shorter than a 30-year fixed on mortgages. And people with credit card debts, I mean, it's always been bad. The interest rate on credit cards has always been awful, but right now it's above 20%. Like, these are obscene levels.
For sure.
But that's just me, and those are the reasons why I'm saying this. But let me know what you think. Now, I want to tell you what the Federal Reserve said.
He not capping on that. It's not going to get better no time soon. Because folks they're not financially responsible enough to even have a credit card. Let's be real. Not financially responsible enough to have a credit card. A lot of people should not have that credit card. And prices, they're not getting any better either. So prices not getting any better. Everything costs more expensive. Everything costs you more. And you still trying to live the same lifestyle that you really was getting, subsidized from the government. The government was giving out them checks. So I'm pretty sure that them checks is probably gone now. Like, checks gone, and now everything's more expensive. That is a bad mix of everything. Everyone's over leveraged in debt. Everybody's over leveraged in debt, and that's why I've been trying to get rid of mine. Right now, like I say, that student loan debt we can't even see how that's about to be affected on here, because it's just been tinked and topped all different type ways. It's not even showing up at this point, and until he said the end of this year, that's when it'll really show. I don't know a lot of people who paying off their student loans, and I know a lot of people who said I'm not paying it off. So once that data comes back, I know it's gonna look pretty bad. I'll be done paying mine off soon though, so that metric, like I said, won't matter to me too much sooner. I'll finally be out of that hole. But once that comes back and that metric is able to be seen, we'll see for sure. It's just not gonna get any better.
On May 13th, they released their summary of consumer expectations. It says that American families are expecting their incomes to grow by 3% this year. And they expect their expenses to grow by 5.2%. So it's just more of the same thing. Cost of living is expected to rise faster than our wages. So it's the same old story. So I read the report, and it is shocking. Like, it's crazy how many of these expense categories are not slowing down. For example, college education costs are expected to increase by 9% this year. Medical care is expected to increase by 8.7% this year. It's just out of control. So listen, I want to give you this friendly reminder that you need to watch your spending, because cost of living this year is just going to get worse. And honestly, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Like, it's so sad that I had to tell you this, that I have to tell this to my friends, to my family members, to watch your spending, because I know that most people are just spending money on necessities, food, shelter, basic needs for life. And it's still tight. It's paycheck to paycheck. And I understand that it's stressful and it's frustrating. You already know the stats. 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
God.
The Federal Reserve says that 1 out of every 6 credit card users are using at least 90% of their available credits. People are they're maxed out, and more people will become maxed out this year. You just watch the stats. But hey, listen, this is also a reminder that we're in this sinking ship together. Like, we're in this sinking economy together, if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, we always got a friend.
And I know that people are going to say in disgust or disbelief that the stock market is soaring. But I want you to know that the stock market is not reflective of the real economy. Even the expectation of easy money, making a comeback, is enough to keep the stock market at record levels. And you saw how out of control the market was. What happened the past few days? Look at what happened with GameStop, right? We had a repeat of that. Ultimately, all these government reports, labor market, unemployment, GDP, it makes it seem like everybody, the whole economy is thriving. And it's the same thing with the stock markets. But when you look at the debt levels and when you look at the delinquencies, they paint a different picture, clearly. So I wanted to give you the data. I want to share my opinion with you. Please let me know what you think. Please subscribe.
I can tell you what I think. It's going to get a lot harder before it get a lot easier. That's what I think. So it's time to buckle down and get with it. I'm trying to think of that quote that they be saying, y'all. Don't take it personal. Take it serious. There we go. That's the quote right there. Don't take it personal. Take it serious. Because personally, it's going to hit a lot of our pockets. But seriously, you can prepare for it. You can prepare for it now. Start knocking down some of that debt that you have, Living above your means. Stop spending it. Some people, yes, they are in a position of where they have to, they're struggling. They're struggling. But most people who live paycheck to paycheck, they're living paycheck to paycheck because they have a lot of wants. As you see from here, credit card is the biggest slice. The mortgage is being paid. The car note seems to be getting paid at, it's regular across the board, so we can't really, judge on that. But car notes getting paid. They're not paying the student loans. Let's get that real. The student loans ain't being paid. But the credit card is what keeps growing. And most people, when they have that credit card, they're spending it on their wants. That's purely on wants. Vacations and things to make you feel good. Being over leveraged. Living paycheck to paycheck. Not giving 10% to yourself first. That's what I see on this. That's how I see it is. And it's not going to get better because inflation is growing. What that stat has said, everybody's expected to grow 3%, but inflation's going to grow 5.2. That means you losing money, which means things are just going to get worse. So let's go ahead and prepare for it, y'all, and get down the right lane while we can. We're going to start moving towards the right lane while we can. If you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment on your way out the door. We had a great show today. 7 Levels of Financial Freedom by Earn Your Leisure. Then we talked about some presidential commencement speeches. Y'all definitely go check that out. It was some interesting stuff with that. And then we ended it off with Americans are in trouble. Debt at an all-time record high. Hey, like I said, y'all look out for that poll because we are worldwide Steve right now. So we are going to be changing the time that we do this show to the PM slot. We're changing to a PM slot. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that poll and help a brother out and give me a good time. That'll fit all y'all. Other than that, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment on your way out. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Peace, love, and riches. I'm out.